Hello, everybody. We have Michael here. Myself is Tom, and we have Terry, our architect partner that helped us design this whole project. So today we're going to talk about a project on South Willard, San Jose. So we were planning to develop about um, 9 townhouses, and they're about 1,500 square feet each. I think 1,500 square feet each living space. Is that correct, Terry?
Correct.
About
1475.
1475 to be exact, for 9 units. And then, do you want to go? Let's see. Want to talk about Michael, or we'll jump straight into?
I think this is
okay.
Terry.
So we'll jump straight to Terry about how we started, how we came up with 9 units instead of 10, 12, or even 20.
So when we first started the project, what we did is we looked at the option of maybe having 10 units or maybe even more. And we tried to submit with the city of San Jose to see what 10 units would pull off. But what we were running into really quickly was a parking requirement, and the city was looking for X amount of parking spaces per unit, per bedroom size. And what we found is that we just didn't have the actual footprint for enough parking on the site, and that was better for us to look at less units, because with less units we had less parking requirements, and that was really what was dictating the program. After we got that number together and put the 9 and ran that back into San Jose again as a review process, they came back that that is something that they could support, would be the 9 units. And what it turns out to be is that we're providing 24 parking spaces, including 2 covered garage spaces on each unit, for a total of 24 spaces. Because of the way it works out, you're allowed 2.6 spaces per unit, and so that's how you get to 24. And that is what's provided. Another part that comes into that was really key is that you have to have X amount of common open space. So that's an area where people can go to play and have a common area for the group or the community to meet in. It might be a barbecue area, it might be a kids' play area. That's not determined yet, but that is something that becomes part of this. So the bigger that area is, the easier it is for the project to get approved by the city of San Jose. So you combine the parking, the open space, the private open space, and again, the 9 units seems to work out the best for all of the layout on this property. If you dropped it to 8 units, all of those elements get that much better, with some more amenities in and around that you can have for the development, which in theory might make the development more valuable, but it's pretty valuable at 9 units also. Any other questions there, guys?
So yeah, that's good. So good equations for 9 units. 8 units is even better. And then, so at this process, we're still in the beginning phase, right? We're still just submitting designs.
We've gone through a process where we're trying to figure out what the entitlements are for this project, and so the next submittal would be an actual planning review process where we submit a set of drawings, to get approvals on the entitlements. One of the decisions that'll have to be made early on as to whether or not this goes as a condo project, or whether or not they come back in and try to do individual lots for each property. So that's to be determined. One would require a special mapping process. The other one's a pretty straightforward process. With that, you've got design work for the architectural, both floor plan elevation. You've got civil work for civils that can work out the grading and drainage. And then we've got landscape for the landscaped areas we have, mainly that common area, and then some of the tree planters that we've created throughout the project that will actually make it have a nice feel to it. The only thing that's kind of outstanding on the design at this point would be a street presence, again, something on South Willard that's got a little more articulation on the front of the building. But that's fairly easy to do with minor pop-outs and window treatments.
Maybe some of the comments they had that you made corrections on during the site, like the rolled curbs.
So a couple of things was, how do I get from the back unit to the street You know, part of what that was that we wanted to come in with a sidewalk type of a pattern that would say walk here and create a walk area, but at the same time you had to be able to go across different kind of driveways, you know, so you're sharing a driveway and a walkway at the same time, which is really normal and common, but we wanted to delineate between that. So there's a couple different surfaces going on. The lower entry, instead of having a back entry on these units, we're actually coming in off the same area as kind of the auto court. So we're sharing a driveway, an auto court, and a walkway, which really seems to work out nicely on this size project.
Nice. So we want to show you the floor plan, so we can show a little bit of the floor plan. So I'll hold the camera and then I'll try to show this as much as possible. So this is the current drawings. So the street is right here, South Willlard. That's the main street. This would be the entrance in, right? Entrance in?
Correct.
All right.
This is the driveway that we're talking about and the walkway for the
Driveway,
sidewalk.
walkway for the sidewalk. All right.
Planter bays to really break up the massing of the driveway and give some nice character.
Okay, nice.
And then this is the big common open area down here at the end.
Yeah, so that'd be like a playground or
a barbecue area or a big lawn area.
Big lawn area.
You could have lots of different options.
Nice. And then what about the trash area? Is that still
so
back here?
So that's over in here.
Yeah. And then we still have these parking spaces, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Plus we have parking spaces along here and here and there.
Yeah.
So we have multiple parking locations.
Multiple parking.
Plus you have parking out here on street that you'd be allowed to do.
Oh, nice.
It's just not included.
Yeah.
And we're actually exceeding the current parking requirement at the moment?
We're meeting it.
We need
to have 24.
At 9 we're meeting it.
So we have exactly enough parking. So 3-story house with a patio.
And balcony.
And a balcony.
So to clarify, you know, we were actually at 1,800 square feet, not 1,500 square feet.
Oh wow!
Yeah, 18.
So that's the real number that we're actually at. You know, plus or minus with 3 stories.
Yeah.
And it's really, you know, 1 story. The first story is parking with an entry that will go up to the main level.
Yeah.
The main level will be the main living level, and then above that will be the bedroom level.
The bedrooms. So 1,800 square feet is huge. You can probably fit maybe 3 bedrooms or so.
Yep.
2 or 3 bedrooms, and then I think that's good. Anything else we want to mention about this design? Anything interesting? Do we have anything cool about this design that no one else has?
So what we've done is, instead of being one solid straight line of buildings, we've actually came in and did some articulation to where we've offset the buildings so that when you're looking down here, you're not seeing a constant row of homes. You're going to see a home R2 and then a home R2, and then it'll actually break up the mass of the structure and give it a lot more character. We've also introduced, you know, planter areas in front of each entry so that it'll delineate where the entries are to each individual unit.
Yeah, so it feels kind of private instead of a big block.
Absolutely.
Of homes.
It's staggered.
Yeah. Okay, very nice. I think that's pretty straightforward. So plenty of parking, enough for everyone. 3 stories. Okay.
And then the last couple items Terry would like to cover.
We've kind of talked already that to get the entitlements, we'll need to have housing approval, landscape architect, civil engineer, and then our final architectural review. Housing approval should be a fairly straightforward thing. That has to do with low-income housing versus just standard housing. There are no requirements for us to provide below-market housing on this project.
Oh, interesting.
What's the max? Well, what's the cutoff for when that has to happen?
20 units.
20 units. Okay.
20 units and up. Okay, nice. All right. So I think that's good. Any last comments?
Not at this time. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.